Buenos dias, people. Buenos dias. He's back. And our guest today, let's see if I can get him on. DJ, you got a knock. Let's see. There you go. Let's add you over. Hmm. DJ's gone. Let's see. Just got a text. Loading. 1 second, people. Mm. Let's. Oh, I heard something. Don't see anything. Yay.
Cool. What's going on?
Somehow technology works.
How's
Love
everything?
it, dude. Good, man. How are you, bro? Good seeing you.
Good. Just kind of
So,
just
if people want to know, this is DJ, the former Savannah Banana player, always had his helmet on, and I think I felt so sorry for you all the time.
you're not the only one.
Dude, what have you been doing, man? How's your New Year treating you, and how was the holidays?
I've been doing good, man. Just kind of working out. Obviously trying to get some money in my pocket because I'm
Uh-huh.
playing some ball right at the moment. But yeah, I've just been like grinding in the gym, trying to get my weight back to how I want it to be. And it's been really refreshing to be back home. You know what I mean? For a while.
Are you in Florida?
I am. I'm in Jacksonville now.
Okay.
So I've been here since probably November. I left Savannah, moved out, and I'm ready to start my new chapter in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I know what it feels like, what you're going through. I mean, I've been there, you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
We're all trying to figure it out, and
it's
we
like
all
yeah,
experience things, so.
yeah. I was bittersweet. Like
Hmm.
obviously it was it was a really cool experience. The traveling, being around with the boys, and
Yeah.
you know, bands and stuff like that. That was definitely um, cool to be a part of. And
Well, if you got a story to tell, about your experience since we played together in the 2023 tour, um, how did you first get involved and go through, that season, the big tour you guys had this past year, and then now what the road, what awaits ahead? But
right.
I mean, but let's start, kind of how we started playing together and how you even got involved.
Okay, yeah. So, back in 2022, I had just finished my 6 year of college baseball. I was playing at Southeastern University. That year, we won a national championship. and I was pretty much basically done with baseball. Like I was in my head, like I was gonna hang it up, work the 9 to 5 or whatever the case,
Hmm.
and not pick up a baseball for a while until I felt like my heart was ready to get back into it, whether it was coaching, training, or potentially try to sign somewhere else. But then 2023 came around, and I had known about the bananas and the party animals because Jason Swan is one of my best friends. We grew up
Hmm.
together, and
Stud first baseman for the Party Animals,
oh, for sure,
guys. Awesome guy.
that
Awesome
guy
guy
could
too.
absolutely rate. That guy could
Hmm.
absolutely.
And
Um,
he's chiseled like out of a magazine.
he's jacked.
He
That
should
man,
be doing the weigh-ins.
100%. But yeah, and so like I was kind of picking his brain about it, like what the bananas are, what their philosophy is, and their morals and all that stuff. And before that, I wasn't. If I'm being honest with you, I wasn't like
Hmm.
for it. Like I wasn't
Right,
for dancing. I wasn't for the going out in the fans and like interacting because I still had that competitive mindset.
right. And you wanted to play baseball.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want baseball. And so I was like kind of picking his brain. We were talking back and forth, going over what it really was. I was intrigued by it. I was like, you know what? It's definitely something different, something out of my comfort zone, because
Hmm.
I'm introvert as heck. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like really going out as much. Like I'll be on the game or whatever it is, but I think I wanted to give it a shot. So I was like, you know what? Let me go do it. And the catch was, he was like, well, you have to like bring something to the table. And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, you got to like create a character.
Hmm. You got to stand out.
Yeah, yeah, like stand
Yeah.
out, be unique, be different. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, what do you mean? Like,
What
so,
circus are we running here?
right, like, I'll be honest, I was like, all right, let me like rewind back, let me see, so I was like going through their TikToks and YouTube and kind of studying what they do. So
Hmm.
I understood where he was coming from with that. And I was like, all right, seems fun. The guys look like they have fun out there and they're pretty damn good at baseball too. Like you were an ex Diamondback player. Like, a lot of the guys had history of playing college ball, professional ball. And in the beginning I thought it was like, oh, this is just a bunch of guys out of college or high school, you know what I mean, just doing this shit for fun.
Hmm.
So um I sat down with my family and I was like, look, I need a little bit of help of trying to like create a character for this team. And I started writing down ideas like what nobody has seen on the mound. So like I started putting ideas together like, okay, you have a hitter that wears a helmet. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, well, a pitcher could wear a helmet, but like not an actual batter's helmet. So I was
Which
like,
which which would be funny too, though.
100%.
Put a softball cage in front.
Right, right. So I was like, okay, helmet, I was just like dumbing down ideas. I was like, what about like a motorcycle helmet? So I tested out the motorcycle helmet first, and it was too heavy. It was just too heavy. It was like loose, and I just was not successful with it.
Hmm.
So my parents were like, why don't you do like a little piece of plastic space helmet from like the Halloween store or something? And I was like, okay, that's actually a pretty good idea. So I literally, the tryouts were November 19th of 2023 or 2022.
November 19th to 20. Okay. Oh, yeah, I missed that. I wish I
Yeah,
was there. I missed that one.
yeah. So, and then Halloween, I was, I basically had like a month to kind of prepare myself for the tryout.
Hmm.
So I went to Spirit Halloween. I purchased the black OG space helmet, and I had like maybe 2 to 3 weeks to kind of practice and with the helmet on and stuff like that. And I was
Yeah.
really so I brought it on to the tryout, pitched with it on, was really successful with it. Gillum and Viro and Jesse loved it, and
Hmm.
they brought me on like immediately. And they when they called me to tell me that I was on the team, they were like, change your name to this, like
Hmm.
um, and they were
They're
like,
slowly molding you. They're slowly molding you.
so like they were like, why don't we keep your identity hidden? Like you could be the marshmallow of baseball.
Which
And
is
I love,
cool. Yeah,
I,
it's cool.
yeah, I thought it was cool. I loved the idea, and I stuck with it. And I stuck with it up until last tour. And I'll be honest with you, man. Like it was second thoughts. Like, just should I have done this in the first place? You know what I mean? Like the helmet was kind of overboard, but I love playing baseball to where
Yeah.
I had no other choice. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I wasn't gonna go play independent ball. I wasn't gonna go try to
Right.
and
It was almost either this tour or you were kind of done.
basically,
Is
yeah.
that's almost what it seems like, because like you said at the beginning, you just wanted to almost be done with baseball after you finish school, and then just start finding ways to make money and make a living. And then your boy Swanee kind of convinced you.
He did. He did. He was like,
And yeah, go ahead,
playing
go ahead.
playing out in like sellout stadiums, you kind of build your brand, network, meet people. Which don't get me wrong, I met one of the greatest human beings on the planet.
Oh, absolutely. And we had the most fun, dude.
Oh my god, dude, it was, and like we still talked about it this past tour. It was like I wish they kept some of the guys around because that, I don't like when a locker room is broken up like that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's broken up. Chemistry's broken up. There's too much turnover, new people coming in. You gotta, it's like you're starting from ground zero. It's hard to make chemistry. That's why the best teams in MLB, those like the Dodgers, they're gonna start winning because they're keeping guys.
Right,
Like I understand the Bananas is show business now. It's not baseball business. So the show comes first before anything else.
right.
And they're just thinking of ways to expand and grow. And so, I mean, you can't fault them for that, but at the same time, it's like nothing, as far as my experience, and I think you can like relate, like nothing ever meshed. And it just didn't feel authentic and organic at times. So,
I could
I
agree.
mean,
I could agree with
you
you.
know,
Like this past tour in 2024,
yeah, how was this one? Because I missed this one.
it was very, very
It
overwhelming.
it
I was
seemed big, like big, a lot of moving parts, bigger stadiums. Um,
I
yeah.
think I think
Talk to me about that, man. How was that?
it was like the word I used. It was very overwhelming.
Hmm.
Because like I said, in my perspective, and how I operate is, like I said, I'm an introvert, and I'm
Yeah.
not really used to being around a lot of people like that. You
Hmm.
know, I was definitely afraid of the judgment and you know the whole cringe comments and all that stuff. Like I was afraid of that, and
Like as far as from like social media
social media and
and
like,
just outside people like looking at the bananas and just like criticizing it.
yeah, 100%.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And I felt I felt a good amount of that this past tour because it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Like we played in 6 MLB stadiums, and now this
Right.
four, they're about to play in NFL stadiums.
Hmm.
Like it's just, yeah, man. I
What wa-
was
what was criticism from the fans like, if you heard of any? Like, were fans that come to the game had anything kind of like criticizing to say, or were you hearing from fans that couldn't get tickets?
It was
Were you
more like
hearing any kind of that stuff
like
outside the bananas?
a lot of it was more criticism of like, oh yeah, I can't get tickets, or they do the
But
same they do the same thing over and over again. Like
mm,
I heard a lot of that. It was like, oh, they they do the same trends over and over again.
So it's
And
getting like repetitive and people are
yeah,
losing interest and or they'll see the same TikToks and same Instagram reels and be like, "Oh, we've seen this, just different moves now," or
right.
they twist
Or
it.
different people involved in it, whatever the
Yeah.
case. Um, and I know this tour coming up for 2025. I know they have much bigger visions and bigger ideas on what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But even Jesse said it in the meetings in 2024. He was like, "Yeah, a lot of the criticism that we're getting is we're going too big," which I could like agree in some cases. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
NFL stadium is a little bit too big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, especially when I was there, the whole focus was we want to create an intimate, personal relationship with these fans and get out there and, they can meet you. And so now going from that perspective of wanting that kind of model for this team to now 50,000 plus stadiums, it's like, how are we going to be intimate and personable with people sitting from almost a mile away watching this show? So it's like, it's, yeah, it might be too big, but it also could not be too big if you find a way to still,
and
make it work.
they will find a
Yeah.
way, and that's what's so great about that organization is that they always found a way, and that's what they did
Hmm.
in 2024 was when before we would meet to play in the big league stadiums, he would be like, "Let's we have to find a way to reach the top deck fans."
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And we found a way. Like we always found a way to make sure that the people that could not really see the game
Hmm.
wanted to see it. We tried to make it an unforgettable experience.
Right. Were you
And
guys utilizing like the big screens more now? And like, did you ever get up to the top rows?
we
Because
utilize
Jesse has always been against the screen, right? Like using a
yeah
big screen.
yeah we use the screen a lot. Like we this past time they did a like they got the whole crowd involved. So on the screen it would be like, all right, first base side, if you're a Banana fan, scream. So the first base side,
Hmm.
and then third base side would scream, and then they'll be like, okay, all the children scream. So they did like stuff like that on the board on the screen where um, they got the audience involved, or when we played on the big league stadiums, they put on the big screen the promotions that were held,
Hmm.
the
Okay.
celebrations and stuff like that. Because I understand why they had to use the big screen on the big league stadiums because you have the people in the top
Yeah,
deck.
because you can't see the promos going on down there and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's normal too in any other broadcast of a show. So, or as far as a professional sports game,
It's a
like you put.
it's a game. It's a show. You know,
Yeah, no,
he,
it's a
he
show. It ain't a game anymore.
it's a show because when you walk in the stadium, it says "Welcome to the show." It doesn't
Yeah.
say "Welcome to the
Hmm.
game." And he even said in one of the meetings in the beginning of the season, he was like, we are part of the entertainment industry, not the sport.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, which makes
100%. Yeah, I mean it's what they do.
yeah.
Um, it's entertaining first. And I also heard like he was pushing a lot of trick plays. So you did trick plays ever like ruin the game this year where it was like
Um,
too many? Or
no,
or are guys just getting so good now that it's like a trick play is just a normal thing now?
it's a normal thing now. There, it's
Yeah.
crazy to think like how big of a jump they made from 2023 to
Hmm.
last tour. Like Reese Hampton hitting a backflip catch.
Yeah. I
Like
was but didn't he do that at the end of the 2023 tour? Like that was his first one? I want to
he
say he might have done one and then probably this year he did a ton more.
he did a ton more. I think so. I would have to. I think he did. And then
But
yeah,
either way, it's cool to see somebody else doing it rather
right.
than,
Especially on like the party.
everyone's doing.
You know what I mean? Doing
Hmm.
something like that. Then you had like Cox, Ryan. I mean, it's Ryan.
Yeah.
He's
Just
he's
don't if you don't want him to lead the tour in trick plays, just don't hit it too short.
that's what
Because
I'm saying.
every play is going to be a trick play.
and he nails it every time. And
Yeah.
what I love about Cox is like he's so consistent with it. He's so
Hmm.
consistent.
Yeah, it's just easy. Like it's second nature now to him.
Yeah, everybody like EJ, Eric, EJ, he's like
Yeah.
up there too with the trick plays. Like everybody felt comfortable
Right.
with nailing him this past year, and Jesse was very proud of how things ruled out to
Hmm.
you know
Like it was smooth. It wasn't like, man, we're doing too many trick plays and too many misses. It was more like we're not doing enough now because we're making them all that if you find yourself doing a routine play, like you just need to force it into a trick play. But I feel like you guys practice that and are kind of like told that in every practice, like, hey, we're just trick play this, just work on your trick plays, work on your trick plays. So it became in the game. It's so easy for you guys.
it's really easy. And but there are times where like okay, on the banana side, if we're losing or we're running on like short on time, we would have a sign that would say green light to do trick plays.
Oh, almost
And
like base running. They would give green lights to the fielders and red light, like, hey, let's just make outs and get out of here, kind of thing.
right. Because there have been times where like the pitchers and the
Yeah,
defense.
I mean, yeah, or the offense just hitting it's like, dude, we got to find a way to get three outs. This inning's
Uh,
taken 5 minutes way too long when it should be on average a minute 30, right? So,
right, 100%.
what
But
did you end up with trick plays last year? How many?
one.
What'd you do?
What did I do? I
Behind the back throw? Had to be a
Yeah,
PFP,
I
I'm
think
assuming.
I think it was like a little behind the back throw or like in between the legs, but that was the only one. And then I had a fly ball catch with the helmet on, which was pretty cool. That
That
was
should be a trick play in itself because you're dealing with the shaded visor helmet. It's like, bro, that's a trick play. No one else is catching it with a
right.
helmet on and a visor. So, did you get a lot of innings in? I didn't.
Um in the beginning I was getting my shit hit, man. I was
No.
I'll be honest, there was a time where 7 games in a row I gave up a bomb.
Oh
7
wow. And you only pitched for that one inning too?
Yeah, it's always been one inning.
Yeah, just one inning.
And then there have been times where I did throw two, but it was strictly one inning.
Yeah.
It's for the
Was
show.
it because the strategy was like the starter, either Kyle or whoever was the other guy, would go like 4 to 5, and then from then on it's 1-1-1-1.
Pretty much 1-1-1
Uh,
or two.
yeah,
You got the dude. What is it? The showdowns, or yeah, the
yeah,
showdown.
showdown. How was showdowns this year? Was there any rule changes
No, it's been the
as
same. I think
far as?
you're part of where the pitcher has to chase him. Were
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah,
That was like the
yeah.
only.
Was the rule pretty strict on it had to be a handoff to the pitcher from the catcher? Or like was it more like lenient with a toss? Remember how the catcher had to run to the pitcher to meet to get the ball and then run around?
Yeah, it had to be a clean handoff.
Okay. And then that was on walks, right? So then
Yeah,
okay, yeah. That's all normal then.
yeah. Um, it was this past tour. Yeah, I think the word to really describe it was overwhelming. You know,
Yeah.
like because I mean, one, I'm very blessed and grateful to be able to play on a big league stadium,
Right.
and let alone even pitch. In front of sold out big league stadiums. Like that was
Mm-hmm.
very heartwarming and
Yeah.
just
I mean, it's totally worth it to be able to just play on that kind of platform.
right.
Like in for sold out crowds, cool ass stadiums, almost treated like a big leaguer. So I can, attest to that of how cool that experience was, you
But at
know.
the same time, there is a but. Like, it was a little. I think, if I'm gonna be honest, like I don't think my heart was really in it anymore after this past
Hmm.
tour. Because I just felt like it started to get a little too much, especially with the helmet. Like I was getting tired of wearing it a lot,
Right.
and
Almost like you wanted to change your character and be like, dude, I just want to be like, can we do like a reveal, like this is the invader and like now I can be myself.
I almost did a reveal on the cruise when I won.
Uh, you should have done it like halfway through the season and like you're just pitching and boom, helmet comes
I should
off.
have I should have just face revealed as soon as the season started. This is who I am, y'all.
Yeah, this is who I am, and it might not be who I am
But
at the end of the year. Just change it up.
exactly. But now, now I'm blessed to still be able to continue to play ball.
hmm
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for when April runs rolls around. Yeah.
Are you signed with anyone yet, or
Yeah.
are you who?
The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh fuck yeah, that a
Yeah.
boy. Me and you, baby, me and you.
Yeah.
If no one knew, Cosmic Baseball is coming out on tour this year, people, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna want to miss it.
No, man, that's something that I definitely when Jason Dean called me, and we spoke on the phone for like 2 hours, man. I love talking to that
Dude,
man. We were on the phone for 2 hours.
I love talking to him too, but sometimes it's like I got shit to do, and I'm like, Jason, I gotta go, man. I gotta go, Jason, because
That,
he will talk. I love it, but it's like, oh, man, I got 5 minutes, Jason, and then it turns into like 20. It's like, all right, man, it's time to go. We got it
but
figured out. You can always text, but he's
right,
freaking awesome,
I love that. I love that guy.
and
And
he's straight up, and he's not gonna beat around the bush.
hey, man, right. When he
Authentic,
called
yeah.
me and we talked and what he was pitching to me about the whole cosmic baseball, I was like, yeah, man, fuck it. I want to be a part of it and be a part of something that you know to help grow into something.
hmm
You know what I mean? And
Well, and it's something new. So, like, you never got to be part of the first tour in 2022, right? As far as the Banana Seven City one. So, like, this is our Banana or our Chili Pepper Seven City tour, which now next year, from what I'm hearing, is going to be, pretty big
I
from
can't.
all the
I,
stadiums. So, and the cool part is we have so many ex-Banana Party Animal people coming over, right? And for whatever your reason is, for whatever their reason is just how it works. But it's almost like the best is yet to come. It's like you close that book, forget anything that happened over there, learn from it, and then come over here and we're gonna start something cool and new and big.
100%. And I love the whole idea of the cosmic baseball, and I think it fits. It fitted my character. You know what I mean, bro? Like
Yeah,
it.
well, absolutely. But you're not gonna wear a helmet,
No, no,
right?
no. I'm,
Okay.
I'm not gonna wear a helmet. Doing that maybe every once in a while,
Yeah.
but it won't be a permanent thing like it was on the bananas and
I think the cool thing is it's literally regular baseball, just under black light.
under black.
So every
Like, obviously some interaction with the fans and like
yeah. There's gonna be a lot of that. It's still gonna be like a full-on real DJ, like almost like a EDM or your usual DJ playing our
not take
music. Oh yeah, it's not gonna be Taylor Swift on one side, then the Burger King commercial on the other, and that's probably what everyone's saying about the Bananas. Like, oh, it's the same commercial song, it's the same sing-along songs. Taylor Swift is out, she's gone. I'm waiting for her to move to Europe like she said she was. So we'll see if that happens.
but yeah,
Go ahead.
it's gonna be cool to be a part of something like that for 6 to 7 months and
Yeah.
watch it just like grow into
hmm
something really
Well,
really
that's
big.
that's the cool thing is I got a feeling because it's so small, guys aren't getting paid a lot. We're bringing in guys that know how to bring a cohesiveness together and just kind of mesh and then create a homegrown talent that, like you're not going to see anyone really leaving unless you're really not liked or you're just not doing your job,
Right.
right? But like this is a place that you can be open-minded, you can talk out, and you can, be heard and listened and accepted. It's not like you say one thing and you have some ideas or some criticism and then you get judged and looked down upon.
Or
So,
your ideas get shut down or
yeah, what I heard, somebody brought an idea to the table. They're like, "Oh, hell no." And then 2 weeks later, they did it without telling them. And so they took the credit. I mean, but I've always seen that happen even when I was there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's,
Yeah, that was going on sometime like a little bit.
yeah. And that's why my thing was I never told them what I was gonna do. I just did it.
You just did,
I
and
was,
bro,
I
what
was, and that's what no
you
one
were
does anymore.
you were a pure entertainer. Like you knew how to entertain without a script or without somebody telling you what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I remember in the 2023 tour, you would be out in the fucking outfield playing ping pong randomly. You know what I mean? Like
Ping pong, throwing football. Deebs got mad at me one time for throwing football. It's like, oh gosh. It's like,
and
relax,
yeah,
guys.
and like what's exciting about going into this cosmic thing is like you're a part of it, and it's gonna be the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's just
Hmm.
gonna continuously get better and better. And yeah, and that's what I also like too. Is like we us players, it's like we're in the front office with this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna be involved in just about everything other than maybe accounting.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know, like they're gonna want to hear our ideas, especially coming over from another entertainment team, because of how well they've done, we have a lot of insights of how to grow it too. So it's like we have a lot of knowledge and experience of if they're doing this, then we can do this, but we can do it this way, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah. And it's never about the money for me. Like
no.
it for
I mean,
baseball.
yeah, I mean, we're not going to get anything this year compared to what we got in the bananas. I mean,
Yeah. I really don't care. I
right.
just want to go there and showcase what I still have left in the
Hmm.
tank and continuously
Yeah,
make real friendships, real connections with some good people and just continue to grow as a human being. You know what I mean? And
absolutely. And you're going to be a part of something really cool, and you never know who you're going to meet. So there's so much more opportunity coming. Um, just by sticking with it because over my 13 years going on 14 playing this game professionally, I mean, I've met so many connections. I could call up, I could just close my eyes, pick a state randomly, and I'll know somebody in that state and be like, "Hey man, I'm coming for the weekend. Can I stay at your place?" And they'll be like, "Yeah."
yeah,
Like that's the cool part. Or I found so many like business partners or entrepreneurs that I've worked with from baseball, either because they were a former teammate, and started working, or I met someone at a game, and they wanted tickets, and I helped them out, in that way. So
right.
that's the cool thing about what we're going to be able to continue to do.
100% agree with you. It's gonna
And
be
and this team, I want to say, are they taking care of housing for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be staying there, and that's see that's so. And what was so frustrating about being on this past tour, like I was still living like paycheck to paycheck, really,
Hmm.
real
Well, I mean, I know you were
Savannah,
one of
Savannah.
the bottom guys as far as the
Yeah,
salaries went on the roster.
and I remember you and we had that conversation
Hmm.
prior before the season started, and we and like Savannah, Georgia, you've lived there. It's not cheap. You know
Well,
what I
it's not
mean?
getting
Like
any
even
cheaper. I mean, it's cheaper than Hawaii, I'll tell you that much. But for people that are just East Coast people, like that, Savannah it's going up quick, especially with the bananas developing and creating more value around that area.
like one thing was very frustrating to me was I was paying rent for 12 months and I wasn't home 50% of the time,
Hmm. And that's
and
like
50
everyone, like, fuck,
yeah, it's like
you
dude,
know. And then
could
your
have been
paycheck's gone in 2 weeks.
right, man, right. So that was definitely the frustrating part, and I was hoping to get a call this for this tour to make a little extra
Hmm.
money. That didn't happen, but God's plan. And I still felt like it probably wouldn't even been enough regardless because, like I said, um, I wore a helmet. I beat the record twice. You know what I mean? So I think my negotiation to
What do you
to
mean
that.
you beat the fastest inning record?
Yeah, again this
Yeah.
past tour, and then it got beaten by one of my former teammates, um, and so he holds the record now. But yeah, man, it was just frustrating paying rent for 50% of the time and then being gone for 50% of the time. Like it was, or for the whole year and then being gone for that 50% where I could have put away that money or
Hmm.
did something with it. But that's what's so good about the cosmic baseball thing is they're gonna put us all of us, not all of us, but like about nine of us in that house, which I
Yeah,
think is a pretty
everyone's gonna live together. So, and they're taking care of housing. So, I mean, that's the cool part. Like, if they're not gonna, if we're not gonna get a lot of money, at least, they're still want to take care of players. Be like, well, let's find you some housing then, because we can only give you this much.
exactly, and I'm
So they
totally okay.
are they are really player first, and that's what I love. Whereas the other side, I've always felt in my personal experience, it wasn't players first. It
Yeah,
was I mean, it
yeah,
was
I
let's find a way to make this show have the most likes and views before we take care of the players and make sure, they get tickets settled, they get good food settled, they get good accommodations. Let's so that's how I felt.
right,
That's why I always spoke up, and when they, had their monthly, hey, everyone write in your uh, summary for the month and any advice and stuff, I always spoke up on every single one of them because I mean I just wanted us players to be treated better. I mean, and the amount of money they were making, even at the time, I was like, you can still, treat us better, or at least to me, don't say, yeah, we're gonna try and do this like compensation and bonuses and all this stuff, and then you never do it. So.
right,
If you're just not gonna do it, then just say, "Hey, these are in the works, but we can't promise you anything." But that was really never said.
right. You try. I mean, like players like that are just they look out for the guys. You want to keep guys like that around. That just
Hmm.
look out for players and not for themselves because it shows unselfishness. Like you weren't selfish at
Hmm.
all, and you wanted us players to be heard, and which is fair because we should have a voice. And voice our
Hmm.
opinions and voice how we feel or what we're thinking. And this past tour I felt like it was mixed, a mixture of that. You know what I mean? Like they took care of us, and then there are some times where they didn't put us first. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just never consistent with it. I would say, but
Hmm.
it was they they took care of us this past. They took they put us in good house, like they good hotels. They fed us fucking great
Yeah.
food, hella weight, and there are times where I was just like tired and exhausted to where I felt like there are times where they should have given us a little bit more time off instead of
Right. I felt like you guys were getting pulled in all sort of directions with this crazy schedule, and
yeah.
then
That's why,
probably having to do like rehearsals, having to do appearances. I
yeah,
felt it was a little chaotic and tiresome
it
for
was.
a lot of guys that aren't used to that, like your influencers on the team. They're just used to, well, perfect, more influencing to do. Like, that's kind of what they love, the crazy chaoticness. Whereas half the guys are like, man, I just want to chill and play some video games or go out to dinner and eat without having to be like, well, I gotta be somewhere first.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I agree. So have you been training? You're getting prepared for the season?
um, training the best I can. I've asked Jason. I don't know how it would work, but I was like, man, I want to start seeing what a ball under the black light looks like, but there is no other place other than in Richmond, Virginia, right? So it's like I can't train my eyes yet for that, but yeah, I'm just training just as I would a regular baseball season, hitting, running, throwing, lifting.
So what is the?
I'm Go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go first. You go ahead.
Um, I don't know. I lost my train of thought, but that's because Jason texted me and he's like, "Tell him I said sup," and I was, yeah, because I told him that we're doing a podcast.
I think it's going to be interesting, especially like I like the whole idea of playing baseball under the like nighttime. You know what I mean? And the whole neon
Dude, that's
thing.
that's gonna be because it reminds me of a. I mean, I'm not a rave guy, but it gives off a cool vibe that you can't see us, so it's like mysterious. But at the
Right.
same time, it's get on your ecstasy and have some fun.
it's, it's gonna be different. It's unique. I'm excited for it, man. Like, um, it's gonna. I just have this feeling, and I've been telling my family and friends this a lot. Like, I'm fucking pushing this to people. Like, yo, like,
Hmm.
out. This is the real. This is the next thing coming up, and it's like, yeah, man. It's a lot of
This
things.
is gonna be big.
Yeah, because like a lot of things that a lot of people are telling me is like, oh, are you guys trying to be like the bananas or the party? And we're
No.
like, oh, we're not, because I'm hearing like they're trying to do what they're doing. You know what I mean? They're trying to
Well,
get the.
but everyone's getting jealous because I'm hearing the bananas are criticizing the owners and being like, "Oh, you're just, they're just copying us and blah blah blah." It's like, no, we're in entertainment just because we're doing something different that isn't old school baseball, but that's just because we're playing under black light.
Then they can't really get upset because I'm looking at it as like Jesse has laid the foundation for
Mm-hmm.
like the red chili, like that team to go out and create their own brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Their
And
own brand. Yeah.
we're not trying to steal nobody's ideas or steal nobody's brands. Like the bananas and Jesse and Emily, they laid a foundation for other organizations or other owners to tap in and be like, you know what, this is really cool. I want to try to create my own brand that is not similar but something that I could call mine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they do. You know what I mean?
I'm.
Like,
Yeah. Like it's
because
just a compliment. Like they should take it as a compliment. Like look what we started. Everyone wants to copy us. Look at all these other teams that are still in minor league or independent ball. They're all changing their names to something funny and different, right? So,
then you got the MLB, man. The MLBs, they were just talking about doing the golden batter rule.
yeah, yeah, yep.
You know what I mean? It's just like shit like that to where like y'all
You're
have
influencing baseball in a huge way.
right, right, man. Like y'all are opening up doors for everybody to just change the game of baseball because
Hmm.
it is going down a path of just boring. Just you know what I mean? Nobody wants to go watch.
Well, yeah, because guys are striking out more, pitchers are throwing harder, or they're getting hurt, and so you're not seeing your aces out there all the time, and it's just a different game. Like I think analytics have unfortunately brought the game down instead of helped the game because everyone's more worried about their numbers rather than the process of feeling and mindset and approach of what the game actually is.
Right,
Because without that, then like without that, you're not going to get your numbers to measure. But at least if you have that foundation, then okay, you can put a put a monitor there to track your exit velo and all that.
right, right,
And then you can, study based, okay, so I felt this on this swing with this mechanics going on, and this created that because you could measure what or you can like, you can measure or you can analyze what you measure better, right? So without measurements, you're not going to un understand. So like that's the cool part about it. But yeah, the game is definitely just different now.
yeah, it is, and um, hopefully. Do you think by next year we will be doing big league stadiums, the cosmic thing? How do you feel about it?
Mm, I think because it's regular baseball, and I mean, once I get there and talk to Jason and Chris and all them more and get the guys together, like I don't know yet how intimate this game is because I've never been a part of it. So,
Right,
but I've been a part of the Bananas and I know how personable that got. I wonder if they want the same thing or is it more, let's put on a good game under black light first and then we'll find time to, get in like with the fans.
Like
So,
finding.
but I'm for sure excited about this whole thing because it's different and it's like as a hitter, we're only going to get fastballs because they haven't found a way to put seams on the ball that you could see yet. So it's like you can't see spin. So right now we're only getting fastballs, and I was talking to Jason like maybe changeups, but it's got to be straight. Like
Yeah, it
it
can't
can't
drop
be
off.
breakable. Yeah, yeah, it's got to be straight, or it's got to be Billy mountain balls,
Right.
right? Um, so like, that's the cool part that I'm excited for. You know, it's just going to be high scoring games, or we're going to have fire throwing pitchers with just nasty two seams and sinkers, and the ball's moving like crazy.
I don't. I hope they don't like the yellow baseballs. Oh god, dude, it was so tough to pitch with. I absolutely did not really like pitching with the yellow baseballs.
Well, Wilson is, I think they're still tinkering with, you know, with a leather that makes it work. And
Yeah.
it just hasn't worked because, I mean, in all honesty, you got to go with Rawlings. Rawlings has the best leather and find a way to make a deal with them to start making yellow balls. And then with Cosmic, find a deal with Rawlings to make it a blacklight ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like
I
my goal though with this is because we're entertainment as well, and I saw the Banana schedule was having their Banana Ball World Championship Series at the end. I'm like, well, since now there's two entertainment leagues, um, how about we have a World Entertainment Championship? So the WECs, the World Entertainment Championships, where the Chili Peppers play bananas or party animals or the two chili pepper teams. So like you take your two best banana ball teams and you take the two chili pepper teams and you play against each other. So 14 tournament and then the two, it's obviously going to be a banana ball team and chili pepper team and you play a 7 game series. But wherever the home field is, that's the rules that you play. So if it's at bananas, you play the banana ball rules. If it's for the chili peppers, you're gonna play in blacklight.
cosmic baseball.
And then yeah, and then you get and then it's the real winner of entertainment baseball. It's like who has and it's more geared towards who has the best athletes and entertainment team or baseball team on in the entertainment industry.
That's a
And
great.
then and then I just, you know, I'm starting to think, well, it's like, well, the bananas are gonna want like this these amount of trick plays count for so many points and you know stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, there's also a point system. It's like you gain points while winning games. So when it's banana ball time, you get points for, you know, your trick plays and all that. When it's cosmic time, you're getting extra points. It's almost like who has a point system? Is it soccer or is it hockey? I I
Ho-
think hockey, right? I
hockey.
think players get points, or like you get so many points, not just for goals.
Right.
So it would be something like that, or like NASCAR, right? Like you gather points each race. So, but either way, it would be a World Entertainment Championship Series,
That's a great idea. Yeah, they should.
WECS, and then because I just want to start calling them out and be like, let's just see who has the best team. Like if we want to battle this out, I think fans would easily come to these games to see, okay, who is the best baseball entertainment team.
I like
You
that
know,
idea.
like you know,
Pretty
like
crit-
why not? Why not
Yeah.
put a little sword somewhere?
Yeah. I like.
And then you put a big bet on it. It's like the winner of this year's WECS gets all ticket sales of that World Championship Series. Gets all the revenue from the ticket sales, and then you do it again next year. You know, like you do something like that. Like let's put our money where our mouth is. You know,
Right.
if everyone wants to keep talking crap and keep talking shit about who's better and blah blah blah, let's duke it out, but on a baseball field.
Yeah, I like that idea, man. That because if you think about it, like weren't yeah, Jesse was like a part of that. You know what I mean? That whole. deal before branching off to do the bananas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he knows the owners there, so it's just like, let's yeah, sign the contract. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Let's. But that's why I think social media is going to be big. Like, when as Chili Peppers, we need to be basically how the party animals were like the bad guys, like the rivals of the bananas. Now we need to make it the Chili Peppers that, and just keep pushing their button and calling them out, like in like small little ways of like, hey, we're right here. How about it? How about a game? Let's see who the best team is. You know?
You're definitely pitching it to where I like especially the whole if you go to their field, you got to play banana ball, and they come to
Yeah,
our.
you put.
That's a great idea right
Yeah,
there.
so then like when they come to ours, they don't have to do any promos. You just come play our rules and under Blacklight. When we go to them, it would be you do all the promotions. We'll do maybe a 6-2-2 and get into it and make sure the guys know the rules and also, do trick plays and stuff. But like you're not gonna make us do any crazy in between promos. Like we'll create our own celebrations, and we're not gonna tell you. We're just gonna do them. Like I think that's how it needs to be, so that
Mhm.
the camera has to be rolling on us 24/7.
I give it to you.
Like like they can do all when it's their home time. They do all their scripted stuff, all their promos, and then you don't give us any promos, but we'll do a 6-2-2 or something
Right.
in between with all of our celebrations and trick plays.
I,
So I think that would be cool. But what we need is a big social media push because I know being part of the Bananas and I just seen everyone that I'm following from the tours, like your guys' following, even individually went up tremendously. Even if like even if you're not on social media and you only had 1,000, like you still gained 5,000 in a year, like it's still like a lot. So like no matter what you're gaining, but my focus for the Chili Peppers is we are collaborating. We lost them. I wonder if his phone died. Let's see. Hmm. Damn. Well, guys, this might be it. About a 50-minute pod. Let's text DJ. But anyways, the last thought that I was gonna say was with social media was the whole we as an organization we need to be better with collabing with players and grow every player's brand. So if you're in the video, you're tagged. If you're the main part of it, you're collabed with. Um, like no matter what, because at the beginning with the bananas, we weren't getting tagged, we weren't getting mentioned, we weren't, and yeah, it's a learning progress, but it's not that hard. Like if somebody's in the, hey, he's back.
sorry, the phone was overheating.
Well,
So
we only got about 5 more minutes anyways, and
cool.
I was telling all the viewers and listeners, thousands of them that we got streaming on this No Filter network one day, that with social media, I'm gonna make sure the Chili Peppers organization is through and through with growing everyone's personal brand from the start. Everyone's collabing, everyone's tagging, everyone's mentioning. We're we'll have just a day of literally everyone come out for 2 hours and let's brainstorm social media content reels because we're going to have really good influencers on the team that have the technology, have the knowledge of how to create a good reel, but they also have the cameras, right? And they know how to do the
Mhm.
swipes and transitions. So it's like if you have an idea you want to make for your page, then everyone's going to help you make that video and then you collab Chili Peppers or you could like what I was saying is whoever's the main guy in the video, if it's just a Chili Peppers video, you collab with that guy and then you're tagging everyone else.
That's in
Because
that video.
when I was, on the fruit side of things, it wasn't happening like that. And we would have to ask, oh, why am I not tagged? Why am I not mentioned? And it's not hard. It was just excuse after excuse. And it's not hard to just tag somebody that's in it. Like, give us credit for the star being in the show. It's like, it's not
Yeah.
hard to give credit.
Right.
So that's what I'm gonna push is like, guys, some of you like Cubano, Crosby, they got a good following and they're,
Schultz.
really professional like on their content. Whereas me, I'm literally spending maybe 30 minutes trying to edit something and I'm just putting it together and throwing it out there. But they have the creative ideas of storytelling.
Yeah.
And I want that knowledge to be collabed with everyone else on the team because they're all going to be new. They're all college guys for the most part. They're all young, but they're all tech savvy, or at least they should be, being in that younger generation. So that's going to be
And
my
one
big
thing,
push. So everyone, whenever you decide to leave, has a brand and a following that you can use for the next chapter that's in your life.
I disagreed with too, being on the Bananas, was like they really pushed the social media aspect on us. Like, oh, you got to post more, and I felt like that was really hard to do, especially to people that like me aren't
Hmm.
really active on TikTok or
Right.
Instagram, because like I said, man, I like my life private. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a very private person, so I don't really, and I'm also kind of afraid of the judgment and cringeworthy
Hmm.
comments. Like,
Right.
I was just like, all right, yeah, like you said, I'm just gonna do a video, edit it, 15, 20 minutes out of my time and just throw it out there,
Hmm.
and I really didn't care about my views or the likes that I got. It was just, I enjoyed being around the dudes.
Yeah.
I that's I that's that was I enjoyed being around the guys. I enjoyed being around the staff, the fans. Like, I really didn't give a fuck, excuse my language, about the
Right. Views,
the TikTok.
likes, all that stuff.
I just
Yeah.
didn't care about that, man. And like, and that's one thing too. It was very frustrating. It was like, and I'll say it, like they had some of the Bananas had their clicks that they they
Hmm.
they collabed with, or they do the videos with, or TikToks. Like, granted, like, okay, yeah, I could have been a little bit more open and been like, hey, let's do a TikTok together, but I'm not that creative to come up with
Yeah.
a video. You know what I mean? Like, I just wasn't
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, yeah, that's just not your expertise.
Right. There you go.
And everyone's different. And can I ask, do you think pay and popularity and favoritism was geared more towards people with a big social media following and getting all the likes and, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Because I know when I was there, pay was based on social media presence, your baseball talent, and then your
Social media.
uh no, well, it was social media, baseball, right? Because there's always three. They always talk about three. It was baseball
Oh,
talent, social media,
you're like
personality.
morals. You're like your morals, and if like
Either way, there was three that they were basing you off of in order to be a banana ball player. And then they started basing those three off of how you're getting paid and how you're kept around.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, they because it's said in the contract that you have to post a certain amount of time, and I mean, yeah, it's basically it does, because I remember with my FaceTime meeting before the 2024 year start. We had this conversation too. I remember telling you where I was like, yeah, they want me to, I didn't post more, and that's why I got the, the salary I got is because, oh, you could have posted more and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, whatever, man. I'm just,
Hmm.
it's like, forced to, they were trying to force that on players to, hey, you got to post, you have to post, and
Yeah.
I just did
But
what I
it's
could,
but
you know.
at the same time, you could come back and be like, well, how about like why can't I be in a lot of collab videos? How come I'm not getting asked to do that stuff?
Right.
Because they wouldn't, they wouldn't if you didn't have a following, they didn't want to do any kind of collab video or idea with you because it's like you didn't have a following. But it's like the purpose they always reiterate it was we're trying to build everyone up so you can get your own following and create your own brand. Well, it's like if you can't help us, then how am I supposed to get help? It's like if you have the following as an organization, how about you go to every player and collab at least one video with every player? And
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, I can post as much as I want, but unless you guys are reposting my stories, reposting everything that I'm tagging you in, I'm not gonna, it's not gonna grow unless my name is getting out there through you guys. And
Right.
that's what I saw a lot in when I was there in 23 and 22 was it was a lack of cooperating and working with the player as far as making sure they were seen and heard as
Yeah.
part of a
Dude,
uh
think about it. I have 7,700 followers on Instagram. 7,700 something followers. It took me.
and what did you
And
start with?
I started with zero. That was a
Because you just got a like Instagram in 23?
yeah. So like when I first joined the Bananas, they were like, I had an Instagram before, but I couldn't log into it, so I had to create a whole new Instagram, basically with the helmet. So I started from scratch, and it took 2 years to get 7K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When new guys would can't come on, they immediately would surpass my following. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they got 10K immediately, 11K. It's because like they were in a lot of collab videos or
Mm-hmm.
with guys that had a pretty high following. But like, granted, like I'm not TikTok. I'm not the TikTok guy. I don't like
Yeah.
posting TikTok.
But
Like,
but your character as an invader should have been so easy because like you don't have to say
yeah,
anything and it's just a easy video people could bring you in on and be like you could just be the mute guy. You just
yeah,
2 second appearance and boom, you're tagged. And
right.
so I mean there's
That was me. Like, they were giving like people, my the guys were giving me ideas to do and stuff like that. But like in my mind, I didn't care about the invader. I cared about
hmm.
going out there and pitching with the helmet on and
Yeah.
making the show look as good as possible. You know what I mean? I didn't care for getting behind the screen and shaking my ass or dancing,
Yeah.
whatever. I cared about going out there and putting on an unforgettable, putting on an unforgettable show,
Hmm.
unforgettable experience for the fans. Because and a lot of like, you know, let's be real. Like, a lot of guys go on TikTok to try to get paid. Real, like,
Hmm.
realistically, like that's why they
Well,
go on
and
TikTok.
guys are probably getting some, at least a couple, I bet, are getting paid more on TikTok than they are through the bananas.
For
And
sure.
and it's like, so why do they need the highest salary from the bananas? It's like you can give the guys with baseball talent and personality and is average at social media like the better pay if they're producing a better show on the field rather than on a camera.
Yeah.
And that's how I looked at it. It's like if I'm producing a better show in person on the field, I should be one of the highest paid guys there because you're getting content from the show I'm putting on the field rather than me having to sit in front of my phone for 10 hours a day and make content. Right. So that's how I looked at it. And I also looked at it as like, well, why can't you also put in like someone's resume? Like, what's their professional experience? What's their college experience? How long have they been playing for? It's like, I think those guys that are producing on the field should be the highest paid guys because it's like you've earned your way working through all that experience in all those years. And yet you're not one of the highest paid guys because that's how big leagues usually work. It's like if you're playing for 15 years, you should be one of the higher paid guys. as far as someone maybe like not on Shohei Ohtani contract, right?
Yeah.
But the more years, the better pay, and that's how it should be. It shouldn't be more years, but no social media. Yeah, you're gonna get half the pay. So
Yeah.
that's how I looked at it. That's how I was always like, that's how you take care of players is through experience.
Like
You know,
rookies,
any other job is the more experience, the longer you've been with the company, you should be getting paid more,
like
every single year.
cool. Like yeah, it was my second year, but I thought it was kind of unfair. And
Were you getting paid same as the rookies
no,
in your
yeah,
second year?
man.
Yeah.
Or some
See,
rookies were
and
getting, or second years, or some rookies were getting paid more than me.
yeah,
And that
and
I
I don't
looked,
think that's right.
yeah, and
It's like you haven't earned anything yet. It's like you
yeah,
haven't done what I've done yet.
yeah. And I think and that was the frustrating part was,
Hmm.
okay, now I see what's going on here. You know, I see what's going on here, and like I said in the beginning, like I don't play for money, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like
I
you
still
know,
need to survive and live and eat
right,
and
I'm a
pay
grown ass,
rent and pay bills. Yeah.
right. I got to, I'm a grown man. Like I got shit to do. I got bills to
Yeah.
pay.
I
So
mean, short story, but my last podcast was with Randy, and little story that he told was they asked him to come umpire in Houston, and they wouldn't even pay for his wife to come down. Like I think he had to get his own hotel room or something like that, where it's like the Bananas wouldn't fork over a couple $100 to take care of him and his wife. And
yeah,
it's like, dude, you're making a couple million for that weekend. And you're paying your coaches six figures and you don't have a couple $100 to spare. So,
mm,
I mean, like that's just small things that it's like, how do you not take care of people? Like you just if like find a way to make it work. Take care of your employees, people you independent contract. I mean,
mm,
it's not hard. And I mean, I know it's so small, but a good company takes care of their employees. All
mm,
of them. All of them from a band member to a player to a staffer that's only in the accounting room the whole time and doesn't even get to see the field, right?
right,
So, like, yeah. At least me as an entrepreneur and like being my own boss, that's how if I had a team, I would be like, hey, if a staff needed something, I would find a way to make it work. It's like because you take care of them, they're gonna want to work for you more and work harder and make you more money. So,
yeah.
yeah, it was just weird. So like at the end, did you ever ask for more? Or like what was your end of year meeting like? This is the last thing before we head on out and carry on with the rest of our day.
So they they gave out a date, right? They were like, okay, everybody's gonna hear from us on this specific date.
Yeah, and this was after Miami, right? The whole
Cruise and
cruise.
everything.
Yeah, okay.
They're like, okay, you're gonna hear from everybody on like November 6th or something, 5th, and that date obviously was held back, and I didn't get my exit meeting and my phone call or my contract talk until the 15th. I was one of the last people they called.
They called.
Not, but yeah, they called to basically, you know,
They're going in a different direction.
yeah, yeah, and they go in a different direction, and I don't say anything. I'm just
Did they give you reasons of like your performance wasn't good, you weren't good on
no,
social media?
they didn't. I think what it was, I think they were just tired of. I think social media played a part
Hmm.
for sure.
I
Like I
mean,
only,
I remember you were one of the good dancers as far as when Maceo and a couple of you would go dance in the middle of an
yeah,
inning, like
yeah,
that one dance, and you were always part of that. Um,
yeah.
so that was one's really, really good thing you did, and I thought that
They
was
had,
cool.
but they had nothing but positive things to say. Um,
Well, they have nothing but positive things to say about everyone because they don't want to tell you the hard truth of what they're actually thinking.
I had to actually
But,
feeling 100%. But and what
because that's,
did? only thing, and this is why like I'm getting in the best shape I am. Dude, I work out twice a day. I've been like
Good.
working out twice a day for the past 2 months. I've been drinking creatine. I'm on a calorie deficit. I lost like over 20 pounds.
Keep
So
working, my
like,
man.
dude, I'm grinding. And one thing that like got me into that mindset was in my exit meeting for like the halfway tour. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They were like, the only harsh thing they really said was they basically said I was out of shape. I was fat.
But that's what they said in 2023 as well. You know, like
Yeah,
it's like,
and I was like, and I was like, wait, what? Like this is I've been this size my entire college career, and nobody, no coach, no scout. Like,
yeah,
dude,
has said anything.
I was drafted twice. Like, dude, no scout, no coach has told me
Yeah.
to lose weight. Like, granted, like I could lose, I could get lean for sure,
Yeah.
but
But
like,
but then you got to be like, well, then put me on the party animals where that's basically their style is the ripped jock guys. It's like, but on the bananas, no one is in shape there other than Deebs and Obers. Like no one is chiseled, like muscular lean. It's like everyone. It's almost like DEI. Like everyone's included there. You can be whatever you want, right?
yeah,
That's
uh,
what it is. It's like, and my
yeah.
performance was never bad. Like I still pitched. So. So I don't know what they were. I feel like it was just an excuse, maybe if that was one of the reasons.
It was, I don't know, man. It is what it is. That's, I'm
Yeah.
water under the bridge.
Yeah.
I got nothing but good things to say about the org. They've opened up a lot of doors for me. Like, having
Absolutely.
that on my resume has been very eye opening. Like
Hmm.
I've gotten calls from, good paying jobs. So like, hey, I want to
Yeah.
hire you, like, and nothing but good things. And I, yeah, there has been some wrongdoings and some
Hey,
some
no one's done it worse than me, bro. So there's no such thing as wrong to it. And
I still am trying to wrap my head around that whole like that. Just, I don't know, man. It just shows that you can't really have a voice. Like you can't be
well,
heard.
it also shows you can't trust anybody.
100%,
You
hundred
can't
percent.
trust anybody. Don't put things you might. Yeah, just don't put certain things in writing as well.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
And
but
they 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 could, there's one thing that so I was like chatting with a reporter. Like, we went out to dinner and a couple times I was chatting with her, and uh she was a reporter for ESPN for a little bit and like for CBS Sports, and she made a comment on why she thinks they got rid of me is because they don't know nobody knows what I look like.
mm,
Nobody knows what I look like. Um, so it's like it's an easy replacement. You know
yeah,
what?
it's like nobody grew a connection to you. So it's like, yeah, I get that side too, but I know that wasn't the reason. The reason was they're calling you fat and you weren't, as present on social media as they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that was even the story when I was there, it's like they pushed social media and they were ruthless on it. Like they only really, if you were in there, you experienced a lot of, you could see who they liked more because of their social media and because I just felt like that those people did what they wanted, whereas the more extroverted, outspoken, just different people that they couldn't really control and grasp and get a hold of, they weren't too fond of.
Right.
So, but and DJ is gone, so we will end it. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, No Filter Network. Thank you, everyone that joined, that didn't join. This is the Real Shit Podcast on on the greatest, biggest streaming platform in the entire world. Thank you, Eric Burns. May you be well, may you be pickling and tickling, and we'll see everyone next time. Bye bye. Oh, one last thing. Check out Cosmic Ball. Go to Go Chili Peppers on their Instagram. That's their username, or that's their name, Go Chili Peppers. And to follow DJ the Invader, who is probably going to change his name now. But DJ the Invader is, his Instagram is DJ the Invader. So go give him a follow. And we'll see y'all next time. Ciao. Oh, wait. Well,
They froze.
it's all good. I was just signing off. I was just signing
Oh,
off,
okay,
so it's
cool.
all good. So, I was just literally mentioning your Instagram. People give you a follow because I will be posting this on Spotify and YouTube
Cool. Yeah, man.
once the link is downloadable. And yeah, dude, appreciate you on this, and
Hey, I
go have
appreciate you.
yourself a rest of a great day. I'll see you in Virginia whenever that time comes, March, April around. Tour starts in April. Um, Big things
That's sweet.
coming for Cosmic Ball, man. So I'm
That's
happy
it,
you're
man.
a part of it. I'm happy we can reconnect.
Yeah.
Um, I'm working on selling Savannah House, so that place is gonna be gone. We can finally move on.
Cool, cool. Let's
Move on from that.
let's get ready
Yeah.
to really change the world.
Keep in touch with me. If you need help with social media ideas, or if because I'm like telling the people follow DJ the Invader, but I'm like he's not going to be the Invader because you're going to see his face as a new player for this
Right.
Cosmic Tour. So whatever you change it to, if you need help figuring something out, but or content or whatever. But hey, take in my honest opinion, uh, to give you some uh, something that you can learn from the banana side is yes, post something if you can every day, even if it's just a picture. Take 30 minutes, just fucking post it. Don't even have to put a caption on it. Just start posting it. And then what you're gonna find is, like to me, I gravitated just towards hitting videos because I don't know. It's easy. Everyone wants to learn hitting. So it's like me playing for so long, I got some expertise on it, right? So you find your niche of what you want to start posting and branding yourself as, even if it's, let's say you like cars. You're the baseball player that loves to work on cars and you post a video of you working on cars, right? So once you figure that out, posting becomes easy because it's like, okay, I can schedule it in my day for 1 hour. 1 hour, I make a video about this, and it's every single day because that's what all pages are becoming. It's whatever people love or is an expert at, that's what they're posting, right? So, dude,
100%.
just yeah, so just work on that. Keep grinding in the gym and on the field, bro. I'm excited to connect back with you on the baseball field, and we're gonna have some fun. So
Oh yeah.
stay in touch.
Appreciate you, Breland, man. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, DJ, you have a great one, man. Hello. Bye, everyone.